Hi everyone, this is Brian Neal with Tradetobefree.com and InvestBefree.com, and today I want to talk about a couple recent trading setups that appeared in our newsletter. This is CONN, and I've got one other. I'm going to show you a winning trade and a losing trade, and the kind of trading setups we look for and how we manage the trades, so you get a better idea of what to look for in the current market and how we trade these opportunities. So when you log into our site, if you're taking the free trial, or if you subscribe, you get a list of the recent trading setups that we featured. And this is the May 4th edition. This is CONN. And you can see here that this is a short opportunity or put option opportunity. This is CONN, and this was the week before the big retail earnings parade was coming out with Macy's and Dillard's and other retail companies reporting earnings. This was just from 2 weeks ago, so the earnings reports came out the following week. But this stock, the reason why we featured this stock is because it has this really nice channel that's sloping downwards as we go into that week. And we can see here, just before we featured it, the stock was rebounding back to the top of the channel. You can draw lines here. They're not perfect, but you can kind of get a sense from a line you can draw around the tops of these rallies here. Get a sense for the direction and size of the channel. That's a long-term downtrend. Okay, so what we do is with these type of trading setups and these type of charts, we'll look for that large channel sloping to the downside. We'll wait for a rally back to a key moving average or the top of the channel. Look for signs that the stock is turning over and breaking that uptrend, that short-term uptrend support or counter-trend rally as it was doing here. And then look for a sign that's turning over and falling below key moving averages and about to go lower to retest the support. So this was a really nice setup that really piqued our interest, and it was tough to short. We couldn't find any shares to short, but they did have put options available at the time. And down below the stock, we also have some commentary about it and some key targets, and also some information about key fundamental metrics that help support the idea of this trade. So if you're in the newsletter on the site, you can click the chart, and when you do, the latest chart comes up in stockcharts.com, which is a great stock charting site and has great charts. But you can see that shortly after we featured the stock, it actually I think gapped a little lower, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, it did. It gapped a little lower the next day, and it came down, and it really made a strong move for us down towards the support level and actually broke that support. So that was a really great setup. The stock moved more than 20% in our direction in about a week, a little over a week, looks like. And I believe reached our target already. Let me just check that. Okay, and yeah, the target was 1030, just above the support level down here. So yeah, I mean, a put option on that trade would have, out of the money put option trade, would have made probably 2 to 3 times your money in just over a week. So that was a really successful trade for us. Now I want to show you another setup too that we had recently. And this was the one that was featured before that. Now, we don't start featuring shorts too much until we see the bearish signal in the overall market. So the reason why we came out with some short and put option opportunities is because the market had a bearish confirmation signal, was breaking its uptrend, and was making lower highs and closing below key moving averages. So there's a lot of bearish signs. Plus, we're in a time of year right now where the market often consolidates and pulls back. And late in May, you sometimes see a rally, and in June you see a rally oftentimes. But this time of May normally is a time when people sell after earnings. A lot of the earnings releases come out. So that was one of the factors we looked at as well. But I also want to show you this other setup. This is GHDX. Now with this one, this was also breaking an uptrend support, closing below key moving averages, showing a lot of weakness here. Now with this one, we said that it was having earnings, the earnings release was coming out the next day. And what you could do is you can go ahead and just jump in and do basically a day trade where you short for one day and get out before the earnings release, or you can go ahead and keep it through earnings and keep that short position on. So for those that just held it for the day and got out before the earnings release, that stock made a really nice move in our direction for that one day. It was a biotech. The biotech index is in a strong downtrend right now, long-term downtrend and a short-term downtrend. And so we felt like it might be worth a gamble to hold a short through earnings. Okay, and if you play the right stocks, and if you're really good at picking the stocks that will do well in the earnings release or not do well if you're shorting, you might be right 6 times out of 10, maybe 2 out of 3 times if you're really good over the long term. But it's a gamble. Buying or shorting ahead of earnings is always a gamble, and we've had a couple of these that really worked out well for us this quarter, but this one reacted very positively to the earnings release and moved the other way. And you can see here that it bounced up and it touched the former uptrend support, and you often see that happen when a stock breaks a trend. It'll actually bounce back and come back and retest that support. And that's what happened here. Then shortly thereafter, it's consolidating up there at those higher levels, and it's looking like it may go ahead and turn over again in the days ahead. It's hard to know for sure at this point, and we'll just have to see how it resolves in the days ahead. But uptrend support, the lower highs, a downtrend, breaking that uptrend support is one of the key things we look for before entering a short trade, or buying put options. And as far as our targets go on this type of trade, what we're looking to do is put a stop just above a recent high. So if you're going short, a stop just above this area here, or possibly just above this moving average up here. It's another possibility for a stop. And the exit point on this trade a good one would be just above this support level here on the chart, just above 22, or for a more aggressive target, just above this $20 level here. But yeah, we do go short sometimes when the market conditions favor that. And just wanted to show you a couple examples of the type of shorting setups we look for. The CONN example was a much better setup given the fundamentals, what was going on the following week, our belief that the retail numbers would be weak, and that strong channel to the downside that CONN trade had. And we can see that one was the big winner for us. And those are the type of trades that we favor more than anything if we can find them in the current market. So, okay, I just want to give you a couple of examples of short setups or put option setups on our site. And get over to our site and sign up for a free trial. You can get these setups emailed to you for 3 weeks. Okay, there's no credit card required for that. Just enter your name and email address on the site, and we'll send those to you. You also get free access to the subscription site where you can see all of our past featured trading setups and see how well they perform by clicking on the charts in the newsletter. And I also want to mention that we are members of the Better Business Bureau. We have an A+ rating with them. We also have a book on our site for $39 that explains our swing trading strategies in more detail. So you can get that on the site. We also offer a blog. And if you like this video, go ahead and like it down below and subscribe to our channel.